Ninapomwona Lissu anavyofedheshwa na kusukumwa, mtu aliyepigwa risasi 16 anazo anatembea nazo, inaniuma sana. Angekuwa kakangu.
Kesi imekwisha. Kesi kwisha.
When Tanzania's Samia Suluhu Hassan became president in 2021, many thought she would soften the hardline politics of her predecessor, John Pombe Magufuli.
Na watu wengi nyuma na wachunga na wao wananitizama mimi.
She promised reforms, openness, a fresh start.
We look forward to her calm and competent approach to politics.
Hata siku moja sikutegemea kwamba siku moja tutakuwa na rais mwanamke.
But 4 years later, after Tanzania's first elections under her rule, critics say she's writing her own version of the dictator's playbook.
This is political violence.
The minute I cross you would never hear from me again. I'll become another poster.
The regime is scared and they are going to be very, very violent.
So what happened? How did a leader welcomed as a reformer end up accused of silencing critics and tightening her grip on power?
We are very concerned about the shrinking democratic space in the East African region. We have seen that in Uganda, we have seen it here in Tanzania, and even in Kenya. In one way or the other, we are seeing it.
Let's break it down. The first step in any authoritarian playbook is control what people see and say.
Hakuna kitu kingine. Ona Mama Samia Suluhu peke yake. Hakuna billboard ya Amco Properties Limited hadi nakuzia machaba.
Since 2023, the Suluhu administration has tightened its grip on media. Newspapers have been suspended, broadcasters fined, and journalists summoned for questioning. Online, Tanzania has seen periodic social media shutdowns and surveillance, especially around elections.
Mfumo wa utawala bora umeparalyze. We have no place to speak.
The message is clear. The government decides what is acceptable to say.
Hao wanaofikiria kuandamana kwa siku ya kesho watapata tabu sana. Nasema watapata tabu sana. Kipigo chake kitakuwa ni cha mbwa koko.
Who will speak on our behalf? It's ourselves. It's our country. Ni nchi yetu. Sisi sio ng'ombe wala punda wao watakaotuswaga wanavyotaka. The only thing, hatutapindua nchi.
The next step, reshape the field so only one team can win.
Kuanzia sasa nakaa gerezani kwa sababu ya tarehe 29 tu. Kesi imekwisha. Kesi kwisha.
As the just concluded 2025 elections approached, major opposition parties were deregistered or disqualified on technical grounds. Tundu Lissu, the most visible challenger, was sidelined through legal battles. I mean, arrests and detention.
Uko naye huyo mtu sasa amemeza risasi 16. Na kwa mji wa madaktari kuna risasi nyingine kwenye uti wa mgongo anatembea nayo. Suppose amepata matatizo sasa. Kwa sababu wanadamu huwa hatujui mwili wa mtu unaweza kuwa na complication natural. Uko naye wewe amepata matatizo, kwa mfano kafa. Amekufia mkononi. Wananchi wataamini kwamba amekufa natural death? Na kuuliza, mimi naye kushauri, wananchi wataamini kwamba amekufa natural death?
There's no defense to political violence. Don't treat this like a normal court process. This is simply the government and its thugs attempting to enforce one-party rule.
Others faced arrests too, or exile. And when competition disappears, the election stops being a contest.
It is sort of a coronation.
And the presidential results made it unmistakably clear. Samia Suluhu emerged victorious, securing more than 31 million of the roughly 32 million votes cast. That translated to an overwhelming 97% of the total vote.
98%, no rigging. Wow, congratulations. Come on, put it on 52. 57% is okay. Why 98? 98.
It's like Jesus came and angels voted. That's the assumption. Like Michael, we're going to look for Michael's vote.
What you are saying is 2% are the ones marching on the streets.
When Samia Suluhu took over after Magufuli's death, she projected a calm and inclusive image. She reopened political rallies, freed some activists, and resolved diplomatic ties. But the deeper system, the presidential dominance, one-party control, stayed untouched. Analysts say she didn't dismantle Magufuli's regime. She refined it. Softer tone, same structure.
Kitu ambacho hakipendezi ni ile kutaka uhuru wa kufanya fujo za kisiasa. Labda tumemaliza uchaguzi, serikali imeundwa, kinachotakiwa kuendelea ni kujenga nchi. Uwe una chama gani, uwe una chama gani, una chama gani, wote mnakuja pamoja, mnajenga nchi yenu. Ndicho kinachotakiwa kuwa. Lakini kinapotokea chama, wao wanataka kuitisha tu maandamano kila siku, maandamano yasiyo mwisho, maandamano sio yasiyo nini. Labda leo mkutano huko, kesho mkutano huko, fujo, vurugu. Ile hapana. Kama uhuru wa demokrasia, mbona Marekani hawa observe? Mbona Ulaya hawa observe? Wakimaliza chaguzi ni kimya.
The charges against Tundu Lissu are not charges. This is political violence.
We have no place to speak. Bunge limebemendwa, limetepeta, kwisha, liko chali.
Over time, legal reforms have concentrated more authority in the presidency. Parliament remains dominated by the ruling party. Electoral and judicial bodies operate under executive influence. On paper, Tanzania is still a multi-party democracy, but in practice, it's a hierarchy centered on one office.
The kind of violence that we are seeing, we're beginning to see, is different.
Decisions flow down. Dissent rarely travels up. Critics say Tanzania is returning to a climate of fear. Activists and journalists report harassment, arbitrary arrests, and disappearances.
I am sure that the abduction, part of the abduction was to get access to my devices and to get access to the activities that I do online, which include, of course, sometimes doing whistleblowing, but also doing a lot around abductions in Tanzania. So that is the first thing that I really felt that they really wanted. This could have gone so wrong. There was a point in time when I was convinced that I was about to be taken across, and I knew the minute I crossed you would never hear from me again. I'll become another poster. And if this was done, whether to intimidate me, to really harm me, that will never stop me. I really wish Kenyans and the Kenyan government would understand, for some of us in the region, what it means to be able to have a place where you can a little bit breathe, just a little bit. I'm not asking for much, just a little bit to say that I don't agree with a certain thing.
At the same time, loyal officials and business allies gain favor through contracts, promotions, or proximity to power. It's classic authoritarian balance: punish dissent, reward loyalty. Not open tyranny. This is managed control.
Sasa Tanzania kuna uhuru wa kutosha sasa. Vyombo vyote vya habari viko huru, anayefuata sheria, anayefuata maadili ya kazi zao, wako wanafanya kazi zao.
I knew it when she was wearing camouflage. I said, I saw this, I saw it from afar.
For now, the playbook works in her favor, and after days of chaos in major cities, frustration grows, especially among the youth and opposition supporters. Shut out of politics. History shows systems built on control, not consensus, eventually crack. The chaos witnessed in Tanzania were not only historic, they were a message of just maybe, the awakening is unfolding. The question is, when it happens, will Tanzania's institutions be strong enough to recover? Remember, authoritarianism doesn't always begin with violence. Sometimes it starts with promise of stability and ends with silence. This was the making of a dictator, Samia Suluhu's playbook. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more African political breakdowns right here on The Kenyan Historian. My name is Enoch Sikolia.